Hello, I'm Sabrina Bahadouri, and today I am interested in proposing a solution to a statewide recurring problem in Alabama in which transgenders face discrimination in the workforce. Every day, gay and transgender employees face alarmingly high rates of discrimination in the workplace. Common occurrences of discrimination include an employee's refusal to hire a transgender, sexual and physical violence, as well as violating the person's privacy. Different forms of discrimination can be problematic due to its ability to cause anger, anxiety, and depression amongst the stigmatized group members, which in turn can create other psychological problems. This is why this is a necessary problem that must be solved within the workplaces. What benefit will that have? Well, eliminating workplace discrimination will be ensuring peace and fairness amongst people. It is vital for people to realize that, regardless of sexual orientation and gender identity, we are all of the same human race. This proposal should be considered in order to make sure that gay and transgender people across the country have a fair shot at success in the workplace. Policies that create fair workplaces have real positive impact on people's lives, and they reflect the best of our country's ideal of granting people equal treatment under the law. Transgender workers deserve federal legal protections to combat the high rates of discrimination they experience in the workplace. The existing state laws and policies provide protections against discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and/or gender identity, and recourse for such discrimination. However, not all states have these policies, which is why I am targeting Alabama due to its lack of anti-discrimination laws pertaining to public and private employment. I propose a solution that will reduce and/or completely ban the discrimination of transgenders in the workforce, specifically those in Alabama. Now, how will I do that? Well, my aim is to make sure every workplace has a written policy against discrimination based on gender identity, as well as unifying state policies that will disallow workplace discrimination. By implementing and making the Employment Non-Discrimination Act stricter, there will be a better chance at reducing discriminatory acts. Passing INDA would not only benefit the gay and transgender workforce, doing so would be a boom to the business community as well. Right now, businesses must comply with a patchwork of state and local laws that prohibit discrimination. Filing in the patchwork and passing INDA would bring uniformity and clarity to the legal employment landscape and would help make sure that otherwise qualified employers are not fired based on their sexual orientation and gender identity. My first step of action is to create a special interest group. These are groups with a common goal who use different forms of advocacy in order to influence the public or political system. As I will be the leader of this group, I know that the remaining members of the group will conform to my decisions. Once the members become fused within the group, their personal and social identities will become functionally equivalent. This will further create a stronger union which will lead to a higher success rate. Different methods we can use would be media campaigns, research policy briefing, as well as gathering people to create a petition against the discrimination of workforce. Special interest groups are beneficial in motivating legislators and promoting their beliefs in an optimistic manner rather than through revolts. They will also be able to demonstrate strength in numbers when it comes to proposing the act to the political system. The second step is to find who the Congressman of Alabama is and the means to communicate and reach out to him. By this time, I will already have a plan ready and a detailed solution to my real-world problem, which I will present to him.
Created using Powtoon.
After emailing and meeting with other people, the bill will get introduced with at least one congressman as my sponsor. After the bill gets assigned to the several committees in the chamber, the bill will be heard in addition to the public attending in order to speak about the bill. This will be my opportunity to educate the higher-ups about the discrimination transgenders face. Education is a key factor that will make one more aware and less prejudiced. There is no better way to learn the norms of our culture than to visit another culture and see that its members do things that way, whereas we do them this way. Meaning, they will get the opportunity to see things from a transgender's point of view. This is when I will present facts and statistics to them. Statistics will assist the policymakers to recognize the existing social issues that need addressing and why it requires improvement. In addition, it will also aid in reducing any uncertainty. Now, did you know that 90% of transgender individuals in a 2011 survey reported encountering some form of harassment or mistreatment on the job or took actions to avoid it? 47% of transgenders experienced some sort of adverse job outcome, and 26% of transgenders were fired and forced into the ranks of unemployment due to gender identity discrimination. Shocking, isn't it? Educating them will result in informational influence, which is conformity under the acceptance of evidence about reality which has been provided by others. In this case, it will be the public providing the evidence. Once the bill gets the pass, it will proceed on to the next chamber and go through a similar process, with the end result being the governor signing the bill and allowing it to become a state law. Like everything in the world, there are pros and cons. In this case, the con would be the possible issues with the proposed solution. Difficulties that can arise when implementing this anti-discriminatory law can include people's misunderstanding of the importance of promoting anti-discriminatory laws, and there can also be issues regarding the number of cases of discrimination that would come forward once the ENDA Act becomes a law. This could discourage the state legislators from even considering the act. However, I will be able to provide vital research and studies that have concluded that a transgender would file claims for sexual orientation discrimination as much as a female worker would, which would be 5 complaints per every 10,000 gay workers. You can see how small of an amount this is to even begin worrying about any cases being opened. These would not overwhelm or flood government agencies with complaints based on the population-adjusted complaint rates. And in case any employers go against this act, I will mention the ENDA would benefit transgenders in the workforce in addition to being an asset to businesses. After all, businesses will no longer have to comply with the bountiful state and local laws which prohibit discrimination and will bring uniformity in their businesses. I am in high hopes that I will receive your help in order to ensure a peaceful work environment for all of the workers regardless of their sexual orientation.
Created using Powtoon.